I want to talk to you about algebra. And I want to talk to you about algebra because I've noticed a lot of my students have trouble with algebra. A lot of people don't get it, they don't understand it, they don't know what it means, and they have difficulty using it to solve problems. What you need to understand about algebra is not the numbers, not the signs or the methods or whatever they teach you in math class. I mean, that stuff's important if you're working with numbers, but the concept of algebra. Algebra is about relationships. Algebra equations show the relationships between things. So, an example is, how much money do I have? Let's say the letter M represents how much money I have. It's my money. Well, what affects my money? Well, if I have a salary from my job, that makes my money go up, right? And if my girlfriend is spending all my money, well, that makes my money go down, right? And so this minus sign here, okay, my money equals my salary minus money my girlfriend spends. This minus sign shows the relationship between these three things. If I want my money to, let's see, if I were to start making more money at my job, okay, if S were to get bigger, what would that do to my money? Well, that would make my money go up, right? Hopefully that's obvious to you. If I start getting more money at my job, then my money goes up. What happens if my girlfriend all of a sudden starts spending more money? What's that going to do to my money? Well, that's going to make my money go down, right? And that's what this minus sign means. Is that the bigger this is, the more it takes away from my salary. Okay? What about multiplication? What is the relationship in a multiplication equation? Well, let's say, again, let's talk about money. Students seem to pay more attention when we put things in terms of money. Adults too, by the way. Let's say I have a business, a restaurant, maybe a hot dog cart on the street, okay? What affects my money if I have a hot dog cart? Well, the more customers I get, that's going to have an effect on my money, right? And the price that I charge for a hot dog, that's going to affect my money. What happens if I get more customers all of a sudden? What if C goes up? C, right? Yeah, C. What if C goes up? What's that going to do to my money over here? Well, that's going to make my money go up, right? And what if I have the same number of customers, so that stays the same, but I start charging more? Let's say I raise my price of hot dogs, so that goes up. Is that going to affect how many customers I get per day? Well, it might. Maybe people will not want to pay that much. That could make the number of customers I have each day go down. But that's getting into economics. That's why do people make decisions. That's not what we're talking about here. This is assuming C is the same and P goes up. What is that going to do to my money? Well, mathematically, that's going to make my money go up too, right? If I'm charging more for hot dogs and have the same number of customers, then my money's going to go up. And so what this multiplication sign means is that there's a relationship between these two things, the customers and the price of these goods. And it means that they build each other up. If this gets bigger, then that affects this, and everything gets bigger. And if this gets bigger, then that affects this, and everything gets bigger. That's the relationship here. Multiplication means the relationship is that they build each other up. They don't take away from each other. They build each other up. Okay. What about division? Now, you might know how to do the math when you see a division problem, but do you understand the relationship that is being shown? Let's switch from money to food here for a second. And let's say that you and your friends decide to order some pizza. And you order some pizza. Let's say you order, 10 pizzas. Well, how many slices of pizza are you actually going to get? Well, the pizza that you're going to get depends on what the total pizza is, right? It depends on how many pizzas you guys ordered. And it depends on how many people want pizza. So, if let's say that the total pizza is a small number. Let's say that someone messed up and they only ordered 2 pizzas for 10 people. Okay? Now, the people that want pizza is still big. So what's that going to do to the pizza that you get? Well, if there's not a lot of pizzas to start out with, then the pizza that you get is going to be very small. Right? The more people you have to divide that by, the less pizza you're going to get. But let's say that the number of people actually goes down. Okay, so you order your 10 pizzas, but then a couple people have to leave all of a sudden. Now the pizzas get there, and what does that do to your pizza? Well, that makes your pizza go up, right? Because all of a sudden there's fewer people that are going to be trying to eat pizza. So when this goes down, this goes up. But when this goes down, okay, the total pizza goes down, this goes down. What happens when this goes up? You guys order 100 pizzas. Well, now you can have several pizzas all to yourself, right? And that's what this means. This division symbol means that there's a relationship here. That the bigger this one gets, the more pizza you get. The bigger this one gets, the less pizza you get. And if you can understand that these symbols mean that there's a relationship there, I think it's really going to help you out with algebra. Oh, all right. One other case. Okay, one other case. What if for some reason this number over here is locked? What if it has to be the same all the time? Now what would happen if yellow got bigger? Now before, if yellow got bigger, green would get smaller. But now it's locked. So how do we balance this out? Well, if this one gets bigger, then this one must get bigger too. Okay? And that might seem backwards to you, but think about it. if you need to have 4 slices of pizza, no matter what, no more, no less, and all of a sudden a bunch of people show up and they want to eat pizza, okay, a bunch of people show up and want to eat pizza, well, that means that you got to go get some more pizzas, don't you? So that you can still get the same amount of slices. And what about multiplication? What if this number is locked over here? And what if, let's say you raise your prices, but your money doesn't change. Well, what must that mean? If you raise your prices but your money doesn't change, that must mean that you're getting fewer customers. So when you have this multiplication relationship and this is locked, when one goes up, that makes the other one go down. When one goes up, that makes the other one go down when there's multiplication. All right. Equations. You probably know that if you do something to one side of an equation, that's okay, as long as you do it to the other side. An equation means that both sides are equal. Both sides are balanced. So if you do something to one side, it's not going to be balanced unless you do it to the other side as well. And so because of this, if I give you an equation with 3 variables, you automatically have 3 equations. Okay, what am I talking about? If I give you an equation with 3 variables, like F equals m times a. This is a very famous physics equation, force equals mass times acceleration. And let's say I give you a problem. If I give you a problem that asks for force, well, you know how to find force, don't you? You just multiply the mass times the acceleration. But what if I give you the force and the mass, and I ask you to find the acceleration? I have a lot of students that say, Mr. Carter, you never taught us this. You taught us how to find force, but you never taught us how to find acceleration. Well, if you use algebra, you can take this equation right here and you can automatically turn it into 3 equations. All you have to do is divide both. If you want to find out a, just divide both sides by m. Divide this side by m and this side by m. And you get a equals f over m. A equals f divided by m. And so if I ask you for acceleration, just take force and divide it by mass. If you want to find mass, okay, from this equation, all you do is divide both sides by a. Divide this side by a and divide this side by a. And you get an equation, mass equals force divided by acceleration. So I don't need to give you these equations. You can figure them out from this. If I give you one equation, you automatically know 3 equations. I hope that helps.